Hi everyone, Derek Hooper here. One of the struggles that I see a lot of players have is in hitting their fairway woods off the ground. It's not the easiest shot to hit. We don't have a lot of loft on the club. There's a lot of length to the shaft as well. But if you're able to hit your fairway woods well, it can make a big difference to your ability to score, hitting those longer shots down the fairway and even knocking a few on the green. And the reason why I see most players tend to struggle with it is they're not really sure how to play it. They know that if they hit a poor one, they tend to hit the top of the ball, or they hit it really low and it runs along the ground, or they'll tend to hit the ground before the golf ball. So they're always trying to help the ball up in the air. I'm going to show you today the correct way to play a fairway wood so that you can get the ball in the air with some consistency, hit the ball further down the fairway for those long shots that you need into the green, and maybe even lower that score a little bit by hitting these a little better. So the most common mistakes I see with players when they're hitting their fairway woods is that they're either hitting the ground before they get to the golf ball, or they're hitting the top of the ball and making it roll along the ground. And a lot of the time it's because they've got the wrong concept of how you should be hitting these clubs. So with these longer clubs off the ground, we don't have a lot of loft on the club face, and that's a good thing because it makes the ball go a little bit further. But it also, the tendency is for players is they want to help the ball up in the air. So they tend to get back behind the ball, stay back here, and there's a lot of swinging on this back foot and trying to help the ball up into the air. And what that does is it causes the club to hit the ground before the golf ball, or you catch the ball on the way up, the leading edge hits the ball and the ball goes along the ground. So ideally what we want to do is we want to make sure your ball position is correct first of all with the fairway woods. So I want to make sure you're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches inside your lead foot, and then you want to have some practice swings, and we're making sure that we're brushing the ground where that ball would be and then finishing all the way through into your full finish. What I see with players that don't do a good job with their fairway woods is they're always finishing off balance and typically on their back foot. So you'd have several practice swings first. We want to make sure we let the arms drop, the body turn through, and then all the way through into that full finish, making much more of a sweeping motion. Now a lot of the time I hear players talk about, well, should I take a divot with these fairway woods? I'm not necessarily looking for a divot like you would if you hit a wedge, but I want to see some evidence that you've been here. I want to see that you've disrupted the ground a little bit, because that will get the ball on the club face the way you need it to. So the players that I work with, we get out there and we check ball position first. We talk about making sure we're brushing the turf and getting through into that full finish. Then when we set up to a ball, we're going to have some practice swings first, and I want to see some consistency in your ability to be able to brush the ground. If you can do that, just like that, some nice shallow divots where I see some evidence that you've been here would be great. Once you can do that, then we're going to be about standing up and hitting the golf ball. And that would be your next job, would be to stand up and then hit one. So as I said, practice swings first, brushing the ground, making sure you get through that full finish, then go to the ball, repeat it as best you can. If you're successful, great. If you're not, check the full finish, check to make sure you're brushing the turf, and it's going to be one of those two things if you're getting into trouble. Good luck with that. I'm sure with a little practice you're going to be able to hit your fairway woods a whole lot better.